representative of Tunisia for his statement. I now give the floor to the representative of Russian Federation.
Thank you, Mr. President. At the outset, I wish to say that today, of course, is a very special day in the life of the Council. For the first time since December 8th, 2020, the Council is meeting in person. And we are grateful to the Chinese presidency for making this possible. That has been our consistent position. We have insisted for a long time on returning to the Security Council chamber. In our view, we could have done this much earlier, and perhaps there was no need to leave at all. We interrupted our meetings for nearly half a year as things stand, and we trust that future council presidents will be consistent in maintaining the same position. The number of meetings in this room will increase until the council finally moves fully from the virtual format in which we have been living for the past 6 months to an in-person format. Mr. President, we thank the Special Representative of the Secretary General, James Swan, as well as the Special Representative of the African Union and the head of AMISOM, Francisco Madeira, for their informative briefings. We welcome the participation of Somali Foreign Minister Mohamed Abdirazak in today's meeting. We have carefully studied the most recent report of the Secretary General. The Russian Federation continues to closely follow the evolution of the situation in Somalia, which is experiencing an acute domestic political crisis. We welcome the convening of another All-Somali conference in Mogadishu with the participation of representatives of the federal executive power and heads of regional administrations in order to resolve outstanding issues. We note the significant contribution made to organizing this event by the federal government of Somalia, which continues to demonstrate flexibility and willingness to negotiate. We welcome the positive signals on reaching an agreement regarding the electoral model. Would particularly like to emphasize that a recurrence of violence is unacceptable. In this regard, we welcome the role played by Prime Minister Mohamed Hussein Roble in de-escalating tensions in the capital and with the withdrawal from the capital of armed security forces and militias controlled by the opposition. We also welcome the announcements regarding the resumption of diplomatic contacts between Somalia and Kenya. Like the UN Secretary General, we hope that this will lead to a full restoration of good neighborly cooperative relations between the two countries. We call on the UN and regional stakeholders to continue assisting Somalia while strictly respecting its sovereignty, territorial integrity, and political independence, and without any interference in its internal affairs. Mr. President, we agree with the conclusion contained in the Secretary General's report that the security situation in Somalia remains complex. Increasing attacks by al-Shabaab militants with the use of vehicle-mounted IEDs, mortar shelling of the capital's airport, and military pressure in Lower Shabelle demonstrate that the group is attempting to use the internal political crisis to strengthen its positions. We call on the Somali authorities in AMISOM to maintain their efforts to fight extremists. We continue to believe that the African peacekeeping mission remains a key element in ensuring the security of Somalia. We expect that the African Union will take the necessary decisions regarding the parameters of transferring security responsibilities in the country from AMISOM to the Somali National Army. The crisis has convincingly demonstrated that all decisions in this regard must be carefully considered, and forcing through a drawdown of AMISOM is unacceptable. In conclusion, Mr. President, allow me to once again express the hope that Somali political forces will become cognizant of national priorities and specific tasks for restoring stability in the country, which would enable them to expeditiously organize and conduct elections. Russia intends to facilitate this in every possible way. Thank you.
I thank the representative of the Russian Federation for his statement. And I'll give the floor to the representative of Mexico.